My name is Jessica Beshir. I am the director of He Who Dances on Wood. When I first moved to Brooklyn, I used to see this man walking around all the time, and he had a certain walk, and he was always holding this something, I didn't know what, but he had such an amazing sense of purpose. And I always wondered where he was going, what he was doing, until one day I was at the park and I saw him. I saw what he was holding was a piece of wood, and he was actually tap dancing. It was just so beautiful to meet Fred Nelson, who is the tap dancer. When I first saw him dancing under the tunnel, I was so in awe because it was not a dance that he was doing for show. There was no one there. I think it was probably 6 a.m. in the morning. There was just this communing that he had with himself, It was such a pact he had with himself, and he was just enjoying it so much. Over time, I started to get a little closer and closer and closer and realized that he actually did that every single day. What made me want to make a film about him was I really loved that commitment that he had with himself, that passion that he had with himself. It's not like he was showing up at some sort of stage. He was showing up for himself, for his practice. I really admire that. And it was around the time I personally, in my life, I've been wanting to make a film. I didn't really know how to go about it. But seeing him showing up with his piece of wood, and I thought, you know what, that needs to be me with my camera. I just need to show up. So I asked him one day if it was okay if I filmed him, and he said yes. So I got myself a camera and I started shooting his ritual. I think he was walking around with his son in the subway. At some point, he couldn't see him. He couldn't see him around him, and he realized that his son was back there watching these tap dancers. The son was hypnotized by these tap dancers. So right away he thought, you know what? I'm gonna buy him tap dancing shoes. So he went to the shop, and he also bought himself a pair of tap dancing shoes as well. It's only years later, when he was moving from one home to another, that he found those tap dancing shoes. And he thought, you know what? Yeah, why not? So that's how he started. He was taking classes, but he didn't have a place to practice. That's why he started to buy one of those pieces of wood and taking it to the park where he can be free to make the sounds that he needed and so forth. He started practicing in the big lawn, but then one day it was raining. So when it rained, he ran under the tunnel. And he realized the echoes were beautiful. And the sounds that he was making, they were coming back to him. So he decided to stay under the tunnel.
It's nothing that gives me more joy when I'm in there tap dancing. The wood has a voice too.
It just connects him to the beauty of the universe around him. There is some kind of spiritual aspect to what he's doing. And he is a very, very graceful, sweet, beautiful person. For me, the most important thing about this film and about Fred's life is the attitude that he has towards life. That basically what he's saying is it's never too late. The commitment that you can have to your own ideals, to your own dreams, and a dream, it doesn't have to be on Broadway or this or that. You can have so much joy by just tapping on a piece of wood under a tunnel. For me, meeting Fred, it completely changed my life in a way where I learned so much from him. I understood that whatever it is that you want to do, you want to bring joy from it. And as much as he was enjoying himself tapping on that piece of wood, I wanted to make that my own practice. If I'm going to make films, if I'm going to make the short film, I want that to be the process. It taught me how to be self-determined. That was my film school.